Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So I got a question, and someone wanted to know some of my predictions of what's dating is going to look like in the future. And that's a good question. And I had to kind of sit down and think about it. And, I the one thing about me, I always stay ahead of the game. I can see the trends in society. I know where things is going. I keep an ear to the streets, always. I listen to what people are saying. And I kind of like, okay, I can kind of see where this could go right, could go left. So that's one thing about me. I always try to stay at least 3 to 5 steps ahead of the game. So you have to understand how this economy goes is where most women are gonna go. So in other words, a lot of women are basically fighting over resources. The guy that has access to resources, money, celebrity, status, fame, whatever, that's where most women are going to gravitate towards. I'm talking individual here. I'm not talking about the group thing. Now, the group thing, that does make a difference. But just on a social, economic level, in the trenches, this really makes a difference. That's where most women are going to go. See, most women are, they kind of get in where they can fit in, especially when times is hard, when times is tough. See, because there's a lot of women out here. I know some women personally today that's hardcore studs. Man, they're taking them jeans off and them polo shirts and they getting in dresses, bro. I'm serious. You got some lesbians out here, man. They starting to see that it's not a lot of benefit being with another woman in a relationship, in a long-term relationship. It's hard to take care of another woman, and a lot of women, they can't do it as much as they used to, or they can't do it as well as they used to. So a lot of these same lesbians and hardcore studs, they're gonna be looking for men. And this already happening already. I'm looking at it. I know these women personally. A lot of women, they kind of flip-flop. Then you have some women, they wouldn't dare attempt to be in a relationship with a woman. That's just preposterous. That's just crazy. I know some women that will say, hey, I might dibble and dabble with women every once in a while, but in a relationship, they say, man, you lost your mind. You crazy? These women are too emotional and too crazy to be in a relationship together. So, but a lot of these women are kind of like, it's hard for a woman to take care of another woman. And this is one thing about these same-sex relationships with women. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. A lot of these women are being mistreated. I mean, a lot of these studs, they will beat you up. But I never hear anybody in the mainstream media talk about it. I mean, a lot of these women get beat up. I mean, you think guys jump on women in this society? Oh no, man. Some of these lesbians and these studs, Man, these women gotta walk on eggshells to live with all these women. They'll beat them up. Any form of disrespect. So these same women that are being mistreated, they're getting out of these relationships, man. They're gonna be looking for men. It's already happening already. It's already happening already. Because you have to realize that this economy, it spikes. It goes up and down like a ball. 1 minute, women are getting a bunch of opportunities. The next minute, it flips. It shifts. Guys might be getting a bunch of opportunity. That's how it is. And you have to realize that in this economic society, it's like a ladder. It's like white guys on top, white women second, black women third, and the rest of us, we on the bottom. That's how it is. You know, but even within that, you know, if you aren't getting the opportunities like these other groups of people, you have to make adjustments. You gotta strategize, and you gotta be flexible. And see, a lot of these women, they don't want to compete. They don't want to compete. They just don't. Because they have that entitlement mentality. So a lot of these, and then it's going to be a lot of guys in the tech space that's going to be getting a lot of opportunities. Or they're going to create their opportunities. And a lot of these women, they're going to be lurking. They're going to be campaigning. They're going to be checking for these guys. And I've been watching this happen over the last 5-10 years. You know, you don't gotta look for the women; they'll find you if you're successful at doing whatever you're doing. Especially if you're in the mainstream world, or maybe you do a press run or something like that. People usually, or unless you're in the certain circles, like maybe you're in the Bay Area, you know, or maybe you live in New York City, or there's certain circles of guys, of people with influence that, you know, they don't necessarily have to go to their circle. Someone will invite them or bring them in, and that's how they meet people all the time. That's usually how that works. And these women will gravitate towards guys in those circles. So I know women that's been hardcore studs for years, lesbians. You know, a lot of them gotten married. A lot of them never been married, but most of their time has been spent with women. And now they getting up out of that, man. They getting up out of that. That ain't working out, because a lot of these women, you know, they see the problem with a lot of women. They always looking for something new. That's the problem with people in America. People in America always think that the grass is green on the other side, but it's not. It's just a different type of grass. That's all. And a lot of women, a lot of people just in general, unfortunately, they have to learn the hard way. You can't tell them nothing. If you tell them, hey, that ain't gonna work out over there, it ain't what you think it is, they ain't gonna listen. They're gonna call you a hater. They're gonna call you a hater, and then if you see them a couple months later, a couple years later, and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Like, that didn't work out. You was right. I said, I tried to tell you, you can't. I mean, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do it, but don't do it with the intent that, hey, I don't like what's going over here. What's going on over here? I want to be on the winning side. You looking for a way to escape, and you're gonna make a move like that? No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. If you're looking to escape something or run, and you want to dip and dive on the other side, that's always gonna fail. You're a loser. If you had that mentality, if you're trying to escape or you're trying to run from something, that's the loser mentality. So you can date who you want to date. I ain't the moral police. What I'm trying to tell you is this. If you take the loser's mentality, where you're trying to run, where you think is better on the other side of the pasture, other side of the field, you're going to lose. If you're going to do it, do it. But have good intentions. But don't think it's better over there just because of something you heard or one of your friends told you, or just because of what you see on television in Hollywood. You know, a lot of women are delusional out here. They really are. You know, some of the stuff they say, I've never seen it happen before. I mean, I've met people from all over the world at this point. I mean, I've traveled all around this country. I've traveled all around the world. I just haven't seen a lot of stuff that a lot of people speak about online. I'm like, somebody has had to tell them that. I just never seen it happen. You know, in the real world, real people doing real things, you have to be practical. You gotta have some common sense. Well, I know common sense ain't common. I understand that. I know, you know. But if you want things to get better, you gotta get better. And you have to look at things for what it is. And it's good to keep in mind that who you are consciously is how you're going to see the world. This is why I always say you should always be getting better. You should spend most of the time working on yourself, because the more of who you will become is how you will see the world. And your relationship with the world is going to change the more you become as a man, the more you become as a person. So these are just some things that I see it's going to happen. The technology is going to change things up a bit too. It's going to be more dating apps, more websites. It's going to be more bad communication between the sexes. It's going to be more automation. It's going to be more people. People are going to be depressed more if they live in these big cities. They're going to be depressed. And it's going to be more single mothers out here in the big cities. I always say, if you're a single mother, you should move to a small town, because the big cities doesn't support single motherhood. It doesn't. It never has. You can go back 100 years. It doesn't. It didn't support it back then either, and it still doesn't support it today. You ain't gotta go back 100. You can go back 50 years. It still didn't support it back then. Small towns is better for single moms. So it's gonna be more single moms. And see, you have to understand, a lot of these single moms, when they get in these big cities, they do all kinds of crazy things. They'll prostitute themselves, sacrifice themselves, do anything. They'll get with guys that they don't even like them. And see, when the dough get low, people get desperate. A lot of these women get desperate and they do desperate things. So it's gonna be more of that. It's gonna be more of that. You're gonna have women. They'll be with one guy for a minute. They'll hop to the next guy. So it's gonna be more of that. It's gonna be. They call it ghosting now. That's what they call it. If a woman just cuts a guy off and doesn't accept the phone number anymore, or she just disappears altogether, ghosting. Yeah, it's just gonna be more of that. And most of the time, she just has another guy. She's got a better offer on the other side. That's all it is. I wouldn't even take it personal if it happened to me. I wouldn't even take it personal. That's just a part of the game. But you should know who you're dealing with anyway. That way you won't be surprised or caught off guard or so shocked. So, and it's good to keep in mind that there's a lot of broken people out there. You have broken people and the unbroken. And the broken people love being around the unbroken people. I always say, stay over there. Leave us alone. You see, the broken people, they know something's wrong with them. They don't necessarily know what title to put on it, but they know that this unbroken person, I like myself better around him. He can do stuff I can't do. He or she. But on the women's side of the game, them resources are starting to run out. A lot of these women, like I said, can't take care of these women like they used to. You know? So a lot of women are looking at it like, there's no use to being with another woman in a long-term relationship. It's no use. There's the pros and cons is the scale is not even. So man, it's just my thoughts, man. So hey, you tell me what you think. What do you think the future of dating in the new world is going to look like? So if you like this video, you might want to check out my newsletter by clicking the link below. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.